This video covers features and tips for viewing and working with your results list in the All News section of LexisNexis Academic. For search tips, please see the video titled Introduction and Searching. I've searched for articles that are about something to do with autism or Asperger's syndrome and something to do with either education or schools, and I've asked for all of my terms to appear in either the headline or the lead paragraph. I've set the date range to the previous year, and I'm searching just in major world publications. And LexisNexis has retrieved about 400 items that meet my criteria. In the list, first there are a couple of features to notice about the list itself. As we saw in the previous video, you'll probably want to use the duplicates feature to collapse any duplicate articles, and you'll probably want to change the sort from most recent to most relevant. You can select promising items from your list. LexisNexis calls this tagging, and then you can view your set of tagged items. And from there, you can print, email, or save all of the items that you've marked all at the same time. Now this little book-like icon here that says Export Bibliographic References, that may sound promising as a link to see the bibliographic citation like a lot of other databases do. Unfortunately, LexisNexis does not attempt to provide you with a formatted bibliographic citation for the articles in MLA, APA, or other formats. What this does is export your citation data into a program called RefWorks, and that's only useful if you happen to have purchased a RefWorks account. To get back to your original list, just click the Back to Original Results link. Notice that you can select or deselect all of the ones on the page with this little box up here. You have a number of options under List to change the list view. The default is this brief view. Brief view gives us the title of the article, the source publication that it came from, the newspaper it was published in, the date it was published, the section and page number. It also gives us a word count, which is nice for looking for the most relevant articles in your list, and then it will give the author of the article. Now another option that can be useful is to view the expanded list. This view will show snippets of the sentences in which your terms appeared in the article. If you choose Full with Indexing, that's the same view you'll get when you click on any individual article. For example, if we take a look at this one, a school district that takes the isolation out of autism, we get the full text of the article with our terms highlighted, and then we also get the indexing, the subject headings that are assigned to this article. This is a good place to look for additional terms that you might want to include or directions that you might want to take your research. For example, if I'm researching a paper on autism, it might be interesting to look at autism in relation to sports or athletes, and I hadn't thought of that before, so that could be a new direction for my research. Notice that this database does not include any of the photographs from the newspapers, but it will tell you if there was a photograph associated with the story down here at the bottom. You can also add an article to your tag list right from this view. And a nice feature here that isn't very obvious is that you can click on this little information icon to see a description of the source publication, in this case the New York Times, and it points out some important features of the newspaper. In this case, it's letting us know that the New York Times bears the reputation of being the United States' unofficial newspaper of record. In many countries, newspapers openly take sides on political and social issues, and this sidebar may let you know the publication's editorial leanings. Unfortunately, there's no such handy link for information about the authors that will show us all of their articles. But of course, you can copy an author's name, paste it into a search box, and search the author field for articles written by that person. This author, for example, has over 1,200 articles in this database, even after we dedupe them. All of the recent ones are coming from the New York Times, so it looks like he's a staff writer for that newspaper, and he seems to be primarily writing on education. Back in my article, or from my article list, whichever, if I click the print icon, there are some interesting features for printing. First, notice that if you have tagged some items, the print command defaults to print the whole set of tagged items. So if you just want the one you're looking at now, tell it that. It also allows you to add some notes on a cover page if you want to do that. And notice that it plans to print your search terms in bold. You can turn that off, or you could change it to underlines if you prefer. There are very similar options if you choose to email the articles. And that's a quick rundown of some of your viewing options. If you're having any trouble using this database, please be sure to ask your librarian.